Jason, you said what, 6 commits in the last 4 or 5 days, something like that?
Yeah, Anderson makes, I think, let me pull this up. I want to make sure I got it right. 6 since last Monday. Four of those were guys that took official visits that first weekend in June. The other 2 were Avieon Terrel, who was on campus June the 1st or 2nd, visiting unofficially during one of Dabo Swinney's high school camps. And the second guy was wide receiver Noble Johnson, who earned his offer the old-fashioned way, working out for the coaching staff June the 2nd during the afternoon session of one of Dabo Swinney's camps. I was at that one. This kid is impressive. He is built like a freight train. Of the camps that I attended this year, he was the most physically impressive-looking guy that I saw. I mean, he's just that well put together. Very crisp route runner, excellent hands, in and out of his breaks quickly, can go up and high point the ball. Another kid that I think's got an extremely high ceiling, and I think he's severely underrated in the recruiting services.
Okay, Jason, you might have jumped me on my next question, because with 6 coming in here, none of them at this point are anybody that's a reasonable fan is going to say we don't want him. Obviously, the coaching staff is really going after these guys. They're all top-notch caliber guys with potential to be impact players, all-conference players to some degree. Okay, that said, again, you might have already answered my question. Is there anybody in particular that you really think, aside from the star rankings and whatever, just based on what you know about them, what position they play, what you've seen on the huddle tapes, that anybody else that you really like?
Of the guys that have already committed?
Yeah.
I really like the tight end, Olsen Pat Henry. He committed last week, one of those guys that took official visits. His recruitment really started to take off here over the last few months. He's got a ton of offers since the turn of the calendar year. I think he's got an extremely high ceiling, just like some of these other guys, especially as a pass catcher. He'll need to develop some, no doubt. He's been used more as a receiver in high school. Need to put on a little bit of weight, but he's got the length. He's got the athleticism. Would need to work on his blocking a little bit, but I think he can be a very dynamic pass catcher in this Clemson offense looking towards the future.
Caught 61 passes last year, over 1,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 99 catches in his career. Out of Naples, Florida, Alabama, and Ohio State were among the 16 offers. So that, like you say, you look at that offer sheet, when you get those 2 and some other ones on there, that's good to steal one away from those guys.
Yeah, Clemson lost a tight end commitment a few weeks ago in Reed McKeska, and I've been asked a couple of times if I thought Henry and Marcus Dixon, the guy I expect to commit tomorrow, were better prospects than McKeska. And that's hard to say, because I was really high on McKeska too. I think he's probably the most physical of the 3 at this point. I thought he was a guy that would need to work on his pass catching skills a little bit once he got to campus, because he's been used more as a blocker than he has as a pass catcher. But I think the 2 guys Clemson's probably going to end up with are just as good as McKeska, maybe even have higher ceilings as pass catchers.